welcome to Super Saturday. Welcome to what is known as the quiet corner of Connecticut.
Light of God, transfigure us, that we may live as one.
It reminds me of Moses' burning bush encounter. Scripture tells us that Moses was tending the flock, an everyday thing for him. When he noticed a bush burning that was not consumed, he turned aside, the word says, to see what it was all about. And God did not speak to Moses until Moses turned aside. In my early days, I used to preach that text as though Moses was the answer. But life has taught me that it's quite possible that that bush had been burning all along. See, some of y'all didn't think about it either, did you? New understandings of God require our attention. Burning bushes are all over this world. The reality is, if you and I really listen to God's voice, we're not going to always like what we hear. Sorry.
So this conversation is about a vision of how we might think about ourselves in some very new ways.
This initiative is happening across the United Church of Christ. We are not the only ones having this conversation. And what would it look like not to make a super conference where we do the same things, just make it bigger and larger? But what would it look like for us to ask the question, if we began anew, if God is in fact doing something new in this time and place, how would we create a conference differently?
It's our responsibility to assure that a trans-denominational progressive church movement is alive and thriving in America 20 years from now.
Lord, you are good and your mercy endureth forever. Lord, you are good and your mercy endureth forever.
The voice of God is a pressing voice, always calling us closer, always pushing us farther. The question is, are we willing to interrupt our daily doings to bear witness to the divine in new ways? Are we willing to tell the story of Christ even when it turns out not to be the story we signed up to tell? The Spirit is speaking, my friends. Let those who have ear, let us hear. Amen.
Okay, ready? Okay.